Warning! This video contains spoilers of the upcoming set in November, which has cards to destroy the hype of the fighting Pokemon. Be careful.
Okay. TCG Zapdos, he does a very good job as well. Very helpful for newer and experienced players alike, so check him out.
Yeah! The World Championships, where people fight it out for who's better, that's it. Being the best like no one ever was. Beating them time after time, and I get applause. And you're sitting at the top tables while everyone stares. Which moves are you gonna make us? I'm the one that scares you. They all think they are so good, but they make the move slower than a slope of wood. Thinking too hard, their brain explodes. Self-destruct like an angry electrode. Boom, world is over. Virizion, Genesect took over, but other decks as well. Let me explain it in this episode in a nutshell. Also, Phantom Forces hiding in the shadows to sneak out. We'll be looking over it to see what it's all about. Yeah. What's up YouTube, it's Zapdos TCG here, and we're at episode number 75. This week we'll be checking out the results of the trading card game World Championship that took place last weekend from the 15th till the 17th of August at Washington DC. Also, we'll be taking a sneak peek to the future and what we can expect in the new 3CG season. Alright, let's start off with the decks that saw the most play throughout the entire tournament. Well, the tournament was crowded with Genesect Virizion decks. No wonder that the top 4 in the Master Division contained 3 of those decks, since it's the most consistent deck to play with. Also, we saw a lot of the predicted Yveltal Garbodor decks as well as Team Plasma decks. A nice surprise was that an Aromati's deck made it all the way to the top 4 in the Master Division. And then there were some big basics decks and a really unique deck I'll talk about later. Okay, let's talk about the Master Division. As I said, 3 competitors in the top 4 play with Genesect Virizion. Using Emerald Slash on turn 2 was the perfect strategy to power up your Genesect and to take those 6 prize cards as fast as possible. The deck works really well, and that's why Andrew, a trader from Canada, became the world champion in the Master Division with this grass deck. A thing I know is that Andrew used a Mr. Mime to block damage on his bench Pokemon. This worked out in his favor because there are a lot of Darkrai, Landorus and opposing Gengar EXs that snipe for damage. A great tech card if I say so myself. Also, many people use Drift Blame as a tag for all the people that play special energies. That was a really great strategy. Even Igor Costa from Portugal, a familiar face from a previous season, used this in his Genesect Virizion deck and became second this year. As a side note, there was already, as I mentioned, a Aromati's deck that made it in the top 4 in the World Championship with the Masters, which is quite impressive because it's the only Mega Evolution with the Mega Kangaskhan, as I talked about in the Aromati's deck, that saw play in the top tables. Hopefully the new Mega Pokemon will be better competitively, because I want to see some more Mega Pokemon in the trading card game World Tournaments. Alright, now let's check out what happened at the Senior Division. Well, the Senior Division was filled with diversity. At Trevenant, Asshole deck actually was the one that won. Trent Orndorff, I hope if I pronounce that correctly, Orndorff, yeah. Trent, he used this deck and he was from the United States. He also used Dursnore and some Mews in his deck. It's really creative, really. With a surprising deck, he took your opponents down by storm because nobody could play test against it. His deck actually runs around Asshole attack to lock some opponents down. He could use it with Mew because he has the ability to use that attack, and then with Trevenant on the active spot, they can switch out and they stay paralyzed time after time. Then they could simply switch out with the help of Floatstone, and then we have ourselves a lock. Also, Dusknoir can manipulate damage on your opponent's side of the field, and then we can remain this lock until we have enough damage to knock all the Pokemon out in one blow. So this was the surprise of the tournament for sure. Second place in the Senior Division played Blastoise Kyurem. This deck wasn't dead yet. He attached a lot of energies thanks to Blastoise's ability to cure him, and then yeah, he just took some opponents down. People thought that this deck would be dead because Druddigon was out, but no, it still manages to take it to the World Championship. Then the last 2 decks in the top 4 in the Senior Division were Yveltal Garbodor. This deck doesn't really need explaining because I talked about it in episode 73. And then there was Big Basics. This deck was quite direct, using 4 Muscle Bands, 4 Hypnotoxic Lasers. The player just went for prizes fast, using the right type of basic to go after the weakness of the opponent. It contained cards like Landorus EX, Cobalion EX, Mewtwo EX, Reshiram, Druddigon, and even Toxicroak EX. And now we're gonna take a look at the last division, the junior division. Haruto Kobayashi took first place with his Team Plasma deck. He played a lot of Curums in this deck, probably to knock out Pyroars or Landorus EXs, and also he played Latias EX. This was a big role because he could wall some opponents that have abilities, and the runner-up of the junior division played with the good old Yveltal Garbodor. And then there was another player that played something really unique. It was like a Team Plasma toolbox. It contained like Cobalion, Landorus EX, and Prism Energy, Rainbow Energy. That was the main key of his deck, so pretty strange, but it took him to the world, the top tables, yeah. And that's all for the news of the World Championships, or not yet. First, let us take a look at some prizes. Of course, they all got an amazing trophy to remind them how great they were back in the day, and they also got a unique Pokemon card that's actually an invite to the next World Championship in 2015. The location isn't confirmed yet for the first time ever. Usually they announce that after the tournament, but yeah, I guess we have to wait for now. How exciting! Also, every competitor that made it to Worlds got this awesome looking competitors kit. We have a t-shirt, a playmat, a hat, lots of cool stuff going on there. I hope next year I'll get one of those packages once I make it to Worlds. Also, the Worlds promo this year was another Champions Festival. Wowee! Which is pretty much useless in the competitive scene. We can all agree that Tropical Beach was much better. Okay, now we are officially done with Worlds, so we can close that chapter. We can focus on the new future and the new season. Also, starting from September 3rd, the new format kicks in, which means boundaries crossed on, lots of decks will hurt and lots of decks will actually gain power, but you can check it out in episode 71, which old decks might suffer. Also, the upcoming tournaments, I predict a lot of straightforward fighting decks because they can actually deal a lot of damage with just that strong energy and muscle band and the good stuff like that. Also, Seismitoad will be popping around, blocking all the item cards, so we have to prepare ourselves for those two decks. And I actually made an episode about both those decks. Actually, you can check those out here. Isn't that convenient? Just click on them if you want to check them out. But yeah, moving on this episode. Next on my list is the Phantom Forces, our new set that comes out on November 5th. This set will contain 110 cards and will feature Mega Gengar and Mega Manectric as the main Pokemon. The set will introduce a new mechanic to the trading card game called Spirit Link cards. These cards will push the limits of the Mega Evolutions, and there's actually no further information available yet, but the mystery Spirit Link cards, you'll hear those once I get the info. You'll hear it on this channel. Also, the set gets released in Japan on September 13th, so we'll definitely get a clue on how it works really soon. I'm also hyped for a new mechanic in the game. I always like that because then I get some refreshments. Moving on, the new set will this time focus on Psychic Pokemon instead of the Fighting and Fire Pokemon we've been focusing on our latest sets. Good news for the Psychic type lovers because Psychic is actually my second favorite type, next to Lightning of course, which is my favorite. The special energy in this set will be called Mystery Energy, and if it's attached to a Psychic Pokemon, the retreat cost of that Pokemon is 2 less. Wow, so Pokemon like Mewtwo EX, Deoxys EX, they get free retreat. Isn't that amazing? Right now, let's check out some leaked cards from the set. I'm not gonna talk about every card because we just have to wait until November until the set finally gets revealed. Otherwise, we'll be much too distracted for the upcoming tournaments. But yeah, we have Gengar EX. This time it has 2 retreat costs, which is a lot because in the games it only has, it has a lot of speed, so we don't expect a 2 retreat cost, but yeah. It'll definitely need that Mystery Energy, and its first attack lets you place 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, which is not bad. His second attack lets you deal 60 damage, poison your opponent's active Pokemon, and lets you switch out to the bench for one of your bench Pokemon. So at first this doesn't look that great, but compared with Trevenant, we have ourselves an ideal item lock after our attack. So that could be really neat in the deck. They work together really well, and yeah, we don't have to worry that much about our Darkness weakness because as I said, Darkness has been powered down because Dark Patch is gone. But yeah, the resistance is really awesome as well. We have the fighting resistance that give fighting decks a run for their money. Also, we have the Mega Evolved Mega Gengar EX, and its attack rocks. It lets you choose one of your opponent's attacks for free. You don't need the necessary energies or somewhat, you can just use the attack freely, and you can use the high energy cost attacks of your opponent, and you don't need the right type of energies. Awesome, right? This attack reminds me of Foul Play of Zoroark back in the day, but this attack is better. This attack is better because you can choose even the attacks from the bench Pokemon, and that's really something to look forward to. And then there's Gengar EX, this time as a metal type. Its first attack deals 60 damage, and if your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX, it can attack during its next turn. But this might seem very powerful at first, but you can overcome this by switching, and we have Super Scoop Up in the format, so I don't think it'll have that much of an impact in the new meta game. But next we have Aegislash-EX. It has an ability, prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have special energies attached to them, and since everyone is using strong energies and double cardless energies, this card might be huge in the future to stall. Other than that, it's not that good. It's only good once we have Metal Energy Acceleration. Then we have Crobat that once you evolve it, you can put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon with this ability. And then there's also a Ditto that can use all of the active Pokemon's attacks as its own, but you still need the necessary energy, so it's not like Mega Gengar. Also, the Stadium card will help out Psychic Pokemon a lot. It's called Dimensional Valley, and at stage each player's Psychic Pokemon pays 1 cardless energy less to attack, which means Gengar EX can potentially attack for free with its first attack. Wow, I'm actually looking really, I'm looking forward for this set in November. How about you guys? And then there's, that's actually all for this week's analysis for the TCG. Now let's go on to Poké-News. In every episode we have Poké-News, of course. There is the 5 new Mega Evolutions that have been revealed for the anticipated games Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm sure you already heard about them, but I had to talk about them. We had Mega Salamence, which basically got squashed by a bug when you first look at it, but don't let its funny looks deceive you. It actually gets a boost in its defense, which, yeah, with its already high stats, it can be really powerful. Also, its Aerial Light ability makes it so normal Pokemon moves gets switched to flying type moves, so we can get more stab attacks. And then we have Mega Altaria, which is on Cloud 9, and it looks actually like he grew some more Nimbus Clouds on him. He becomes a Dragon Fairy type, which which was expected actually, because it actually knows some Fairy type moves. It has Pixelate as ability, so it makes normal type moves turn into Fairy to also get that stab boost. That's quite good news for Altaria, because in the past it wasn't that good, and his attack stat already also rises with his defense, so maybe we can play with Altaria now. And then we have Mega Lopunny, which basically becomes a normal fighting type and gets a lot of attack points up. Yeah. His attack skyrockets, and he also has the attack Scrappy, which makes it so he can hit Ghost-type Pokemon with normal and fighting moves. Lastly, there's Mega Audino and Mega Slowbro, which got accidentally revealed by Pokemon. I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but yeah. Mega Slowbro looks rather funny, with his shell having eaten its entire body. It remains his Water Psychic type and gets Shell Armor to block critical hits. Also, its defense gets increased, so we'll be seeing a slack off probably with Calm Mind Mega Slowbro in the games. Next off is Mega Audino, which turns into a normal fairy and has the ability Healer in combination with a boost in its special and physical defense. So that will be all for the new Megas right now. Also, I'd like to mention that the trading card game news, we have Nintendo actually is working on a trading card game app for iOS, which means we might be able to play our favorite trading card game on the iPad quite soon, but I don't think it's officially been confirmed. But yeah, then that's all for this episode, guys. What do you think about the new TCG meta game, and did you expect the top decks at Worlds? Also, what's your opinion on the new revealed Mega Evolutions? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, because I always appreciate that and it gives me the motivation to make more good quality videos for you guys. And if you want to, you can click here to subscribe, that way you'll get informed when my new videos are out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace! Hi, if you want to know more about the competitive decks, go check out episode 74, if you haven't already. There we'll be checking out Seismitoad EX in all its glory and how it'll work in a deck. Also, I recently opened a Furious Fist booster box and I got a lot of awesome stuff. Go check that out if you like booster openings, since I have a lot of those on my channel. And if you like, you can check out battle videos, I have those as well on my channel, and there will be a new one pretty soon. Stay tuned!